Honorable keynote speaker, Mr. Narahari, alumni of our college, Ms. Niala, Dr. Devraj, the director, all the dignitaries, invitees and student friends. At the outset, I congratulate the director, faculty and the students for having thought of organizing this national conference on global brand building. Such a time when branding is highly demanded. So this particular topic is very much relevant. One of the key roles of any educational institution is generation of knowledge and dissemination of knowledge. So generation of knowledge through studies and research, and dissemination of knowledge, when we speak of, it should not be confined to only the classroom teaching. The dissemination of knowledge has to happen at various levels. I'm happy that during the last 10 years, this postgraduate department has conducted 10 national conferences, one every year. So, but by doing that, the department or the college has provided a platform for the students to listen to the eminent scholars and also the professionals in the field. I'm also happy that e-journal is released today. There's another means of dissemination of knowledge or information. I wish that all the participants, particularly the students, make best use of such facilities available, opportunities provided by the college, and elevate themselves to the higher level, and I wish that they raise themselves above the examinations and degrees. I am reminded of a short story. In one of the schools, teacher asks the students, all the students, to write about their dreams. So every student writes about his dream. They write the dreams like they would like to become a doctor or engineer or IAS and something like that, different kinds of dreams. And then one of the students whose father had one horse at home, he writes his dream. He writes, I want to, after my studies, I want to have my own stud farm. I want to have 1,000 horses. I want to have a veterinary hospital in the state farm. I also want to have a helicopter in case of emergency so that I can lift the horse to a better place, and all that, lot of imaginary things. And then teacher goes through all that, and finally she approves of everything, every student's dream. And when it comes to this student's dream, she says, it cannot be. I cannot approve of that. He asks why. He says, it is not possible. The boy pleads that I will make it possible. And finally the teacher says, you may be able to make it possible, but for this purpose, for the examination purpose, for the current assignment that is given to you, if you write like this, you will not get the grades. She says, outright, you will not get the grades. And the boy says, okay, madam, you keep the grade with you, but let me have my dreams with me. And then he realizes it. So as a student, it is not only preparing ourselves for the examination, we also have to set certain dreams. We also have to have certain ambitions, higher ambitions, and we can have higher level of thinking only when we have exposure to people working in the field, and only when we realize of the opportunities available to us. The Current topic, today's topic is global brand building. So as I said, in the present day, the need for brand building is increasing and there is a urge in everybody to have a brand. It is not restricted only to industries or institutions or organizations. At the personal level, if you think of, there is an internal urge to build the brand. When you go on the road, you see a lot of banners with photographs. So it is a way of brand building. So we have that urge to present ourselves in the community, build a brand, and we see a lot of pictures posted on walls and in banners and all that. You have different media, like you have maybe your own websites or blogs, and all these are different kinds of brand building at the individual level. So individual level, it is okay for our personal satisfaction, but at the institutional level, the brand building is the question of survival. For the very survival, the branding is becoming more and more important in the present day context. When we speak of the individual, we say people have three phases or three personalities. That is, like, as I look at me, what Yashovarma, I look at me. As others look at me, they made a very elaborate introduction. I wish to have a copy of that later to show at home. So that is as they look at me, and what real I am. So there are three phases for any individual: as I look at me, as others look at me, and real me. Even for the industry, there are three phases. What outsider looks at the industry or organization, what insider looks at the industry or organization, and what that industry really is. So what is important out of these two is what that industry, all these three aspects are important. What that industry really is, how they look at it, and how outsider looks at it. All these three components are very much essential when it comes to brand building in the institution. Now, in the present scenario, so in the present scenario, brand building is becoming easy. Brand building is taking lesser time. We have heard of Oxford University. You know, Oxford University has a history of 850 years. So people in the Oxford University always believed that no more university of that kind can be built in near future. So they thought that they are the supreme, no other institution of that kind can be built anywhere else because of the history and because of the tradition. But if you look at last 50 years, in several countries, even the smaller countries, maybe in China, maybe in Singapore, the global universities, almost similar to Oxford University, are built within no time. So because of the facilities available, because of the technology available, and also because of the open-mindedness, the countries or people are able to establish a brand within short period. So brand building is not difficult, provided you have that open mind and urge to raise up to or come up to that level. Our president always used to give an example of his experience when he, as a student, when he went to purchase a car. So he goes to ambassador showroom, books a car, does all formalities, and then out of curiosity, before leaving that showroom, he asked the person there, when should he come to take the delivery? And the person in the showroom then said, well, gentlemen, you come after 10 years. So that was the waiting period at that time to get one ambassador car. So that At that time, the number of brands available were limited, number of cars produced were limited. Same is the case for all products. The number of units produced were less, number of buyers were less, so people were prepared to wait. So at that time, during those periods, some 50 years back, brand building might not have been very significant or might not be of that importance as it is in the present context. But today, you don't even think of buying a car, people will come to you to show the vehicle, to have a test ride. If you express your desire, you will have several sleepless nights. They will not let you sleep. All kinds of calls and all kinds of visits and all kinds of, you will be elevated to that level. Okay? You will not, you might not be knowing that you are such an important person. So till you express your desire to buy a car. Once you say, I want to buy a car, you will feel how important you are. That is the kind. So that is the competition which is prevailing in the present day, present scenario, and in this competitive world, brand building is becoming very important, whether at the national level or whether at the global level. The brand building has become very significant in the present context.